Hello everyone, I'm Komal. I work as a software engineer at one of the good MNC company. So you can check out my channel for other concepts like prefixum. You can check the playlist of stream APIs and all. Okay, and you can also check for the lead code questions playlist I made. Today also we are going to solve a lead code question which came in the weekly contest for 29. Okay, so the question is minimum number of operations to make elements in array distinct. You are given an integer array nums. You need to ensure that the elements in an array are distinct. To achieve this, you can perform the following operation any number of times. So remove three elements from the beginning of the array. If the array has fewer than three elements, remove all the remaining elements. So we can remove three elements from the beginning of array to make our array distinct, and we can do this any number of times. Okay, and we have to return minimum number of operations needed to make an element in an array distinct. Okay, so if we see this example here, okay, here, then it is written the first operation, first three elements are removed. Okay, so if we check this whole array, is this array have distinct elements? No, right? 2 is repeating here and 3 is repeating, so we can remove till here to make our array distinct, which is the distinct elements. So here we have 6 elements to remove. So how many number of operations we will be needing? We'll be needing two operations. One operation we can remove 3, right, from the beginning, and then in the second we can remove this 3, and we got our array distinct. Okay, so let's say an example. If we take this instead of this three, here it is not here, and it is here. Let's say a different example only instead of that. Okay, in this example, we have, if we remove first three elements, then we have this resulting array. Okay, again, numbers are not the distinct, so we will again remove this. If less than 3, then we have to remove all the remaining. So we removed all the things, and two operations to make it distinct. So an empty array is considered to have a distinct elements. Okay, and if you see this example, here we don't have any duplicate or repeated elements, so we don't need to remove the elements, and we need a zero operations. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this question. We can make use of hash map to store, or we can say to check if we have a repeated element or not, because the best way is to use a hash map when you are checking for the repeated element. Okay, and when it is given here, you can see in constant it is given that our nums of I, the numbers which are from 1 to 100. Okay, so we can use a hash array. Okay, a simple array which has the size of 101, and its index will be the number which we have in nums. So at two index, at the index in hash array, at second index we can increment if we have two in our array. So in this way we can keep a count of our nums array elements. Okay, so again, what, instead of checking from the beginning, okay, like let's say first, what will be the brute force? First we'll write a method for checking if it has a distinct elements. Okay, there also it will check using hash map, or just a count variable which will return, if it got a repeated element, it will directly return as a false. So we'll check for this. Again, we will send index from this to this, then this to this. So in this way we can check that how many returns false. Okay, so here it will return a false. Then first we have to remove these three. Then again we will pass this array. Then we will get a false because we have a repeated element. Then we will remove these three. Then we'll send this. Okay, we'll pass this to our that method which will check if it has a repeated. Then it will return true. Okay, that it doesn't have any repeated element. So we got two false. So in this way, two operations. Okay, so but this will be like every time you are checking. So instead of that, what we can do is we can check from the end, because in the end, because we can remove the elements from the beginning only. If we got the last element which is repeated, and till that elements if we remove, then we'll get a number of times. Like for example, here 3 and 3 is there. Anyway, if we are removing from the beginning, we have to come till this. Okay, till this end, right? So if we got the number which is repeating, okay, from the end, and till here, okay, till here, anyway, from this point our array is distinct. Okay, so we have to remove this all this, and if we get the count how many elements we have to remove, and if we divide by 3 and then we return, let's say here we have 6 elements. If you want to remove the 6 elements, then how many operations we have to do? 2. If we want to remove the 7 elements, then how many operations we have to do is 3, because 3 is 6 and only one element is remaining. For that we have to remove all the 3. Okay, next thing. Okay, so you got right. So from the end, okay, from the end of array we have to check which is the repeated element. Okay, and then we will be using that till that index how many elements are there, and then we will just return the count. We don't actually need to remove it, because in the question it is asking the minimum number of operations. It doesn't mean that we have to do that or many operations in our code. Okay, so instead what we will do is we will check how many minimum number of operations we are needed to make. Okay, not instead of making it. Okay, so let's use a array hash map, okay, which will keep track of our elements. New int 101. Okay, now we need a okay, now what we'll do, for int I is equal to, from the last, right, from the end we have to check. So nums dot length minus 1, I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. Okay, so we will check, okay, if hash map of I, okay, instead let's say first we will do this hash map of nums of I plus plus. That means it will, so as I said, this 2 means index of this hash map. Okay, so it will increment. So at index 2 of hash map, how many 2 are present, okay, it represent how many 2 are present in our nums array. Okay, so before that, here what we will check, we will check nums of I. Okay, hash map of nums of I, if it is what, if it is not equal to 1 or it is greater than 1. Okay, if it is greater than 1, that means, okay, so let's say 7. 7 count is like initially it is 1, then 5, then 3. Okay, and here if we see hash map of 3, it will be 2. Okay, in that case, so here instead of 1 we can write 0 as well. Okay, greater than 0, because if we are checking before only, then we can use a 0. If we are checking after this, we can use 1. Okay, greater than 0. So for this, already we have incremented here, so we got 1 for this, right? Already there is an element 3. So here we can say, here we will break, here we will break, and we will use one index, one variable last index, which will be initially 0. Okay, and then last index is equal to our I plus 1, because I will be 5 here as it is an index. Okay, but how many we want, a number of elements till this index, so it will be 6. So 6 elements we have to remove, this we got in the last index. Okay, now I will check if our last index is divisible by 3. Okay, that means we have 6, 9, 12, like that. So we can return directly last index slash 3. Else we don't need to write else, also return what we have to return, last index by 3 plus 1. Okay, because if there is a one element extra, two element, anyway we have to do one more operation. So run this, you can say accepted. Let's submit this solution. Yeah, you can see our solution got accepted. So in this way you can solve this question using hash map. And yeah, here you are checking, like we are checking how many elements we have to remove to make our elements distinct, and then accordingly how many operations we have to do, that we are calculating. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Stay updated. Thank you so much.